Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review recap, okay, for Sistas Ego Trip Season 5, Episode 7. Child, what can I say, y'all? What can I say that hasn't already been said? What can I say that I haven't said again and again and again and again and again and again and again? Repeat, rewind, right? We seen it all before. We heard it all before, child. In my Sunshine Anderson voice. I just want, I don't even know, just something else, y'all. Something else, because I really was not here for none of this. Calvin got robbed. Who cared, okay? Who cared? Who cared? Who cared? Not I, okay, said the cat. Not I at all. Danny over here getting slapped, child. Did we not see the creepy vibes, the weirdo vibes? You know, absolutely. But was we expecting this man to be out here, you know, being a whole abuser? Not necessarily, honey. But now we finding out that he is trash, 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 trash. All right. And of course, Fatima shuts down Karen as only she can. And that is really the only part that I cared about, you know. Gary up here being dumb, chasing behind Andy, and Andy being dumb, inviting him in only for her to find out about his whole game plan that he had with Hayden like 2 seconds later, child. It took her no time, okay? And meanwhile, we still have not seen one sighting of Sabrina and Maurice yet, okay? That is what's going on so far. But let's take it from the top and get into this review. And you guys, if you have not realized that, I am baby out and about, okay? It is, of course, Thanksgiving. I'm over here, you know, visiting my family. Happy Thanksgiving from my family, you know, to you and yours. So this is not going to be my usual review, but I did want to get up here and at least talk a little bit about this episode and get something out to you guys, because you probably won't get nothing again for a little bit, all right? Just FYI. But this episode, of course, was called Ego Trip. This is Season 5, Episode 7. You know, of course, we basically picked up with having, you know, Zach and Fatima trying to really get down to this conversation and get all this up and out and about, you know, with Karen. She still got the letter to read to him. Remember that, you know, Fatima showed up at the door, and, you know, we get the back and forth that we have had, I don't know how many times before, between, you know, Aaron and Zach, where at this point I really don't see no point in them arguing, you know. Aaron calls herself like, whoa, 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 watch yourself, you know, checking Zach when Zach is saying, you know, he's nothing like me and he can't compare to me. And it's like, why are we even having this conversation when the conversation should be about, you know, Karen and whether this damn baby is yours or not, and what are you going to be doing, and how are y'all going to be coming together to have whatever relationship that is based upon taking care of this child, if you are, okay? And of course, Fatima's really the only adult, in my opinion, as usual, that breaks it down in such a classy way, gets her point across. You know, at one point, Karen Mama tried to get a little cute with her too, and they're both strong women, and she could see that, you know, real recognize real, where Fatima is coming from. And then she starts to learn some things that she didn't know, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. And I do appreciate and respect the fact that she was real and was genuine in saying, okay, wrong is wrong and right is right. Like, honey, I ain't know about all these parts, and I wish a little bit more could have been spilled out, since we was already here and dragging this on forever, never, 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 never in a day. We might as well have really gotten to it and just let everything be brought out there, because at the end of the day, the only aspects that Karen mother know is just from her. And of course, the only thing she's going to be worried about is, you know, this is my child and now she's pregnant, she got to be on bed rest, I'm looking out for her best interest, and so on and so forth. But if you out here playing yourself, Karen, and accusing people of, you know, stuff that they didn't do, popping up at their house, calling them out their name every 5 minutes and all this, when they haven't been disrespectful to you, then it's like, you know, no, hold up, you're wrong. That's what you was doing, you know what I mean? And so then, because I feel like of her embarrassment and the fact that her spot was getting blown up, and also just being upset and not wanting to see, you know, Zach and Fatima happy together, you know, she of course then has a blow up and wants everybody to get out, doesn't want to talk about nothing no more, and all that different kind of song and dance. But I feel like maybe we got a little bit of closure, even though it was something like basically still some of the same stuff, mixed in there. But it was a little different because now we finally are like, listen, we gonna take this on head on because obviously y'all not going nowhere, we not going nowhere. And so, how can we make this work and how can we move it on forward from here? Now, moving on along, Hayden is still over here trying to flex and have this fantasy damn relationship with Fatima. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it real. I just don't care about that either. I'm tired of this Hayden storyline, lasting as long as it's been lasting, and him going on about how he checked, Fatima. He out having some drink with Gary, and Gary is basically not even believing what he's telling him anyway. And then some kind of way, Gary is saying he hates to admit it, but when he's looking into, the whole situation with with Aaron, I should say, not Aaron, Lord, I'm mixing up all these people named, with Robin, he have to admit that he is a smart guy. And Hayden is saying that, oh, you really believe Andy wants you? Isn't it such a coincidence that she just miraculously took you back around the same time that, you was basically about to get ready to sue her, and the only reason why she's messing with you is because of the lawsuit. And of course Gary is saying, no, she really does want me, period, point blank. And so they get down to basically doing this bet where at first it's like, oh, well, let's settle with them for a few shares. And he's like, no, a back and forth of, you crazy, I ain't doing that. And then they, settle on doing 3 shares either way, right? Gary would have to give him 3 shares if he's right, and then vice versa from Hayden. And so basically if Andy answers and lets him come over, then, Hayden would have to give it to him. And lo and behold, okay, he calls Andy, and Andy over here picking up the damn phone. Oh, hey, baby, I'm working. Yeah, I'm still up, but I'm tired. I can't be up all night hanging out. You just saw me. Why would you want to see me again? I'm really not going to be good company because I'm busy working. Oh, I just want to stop by for a couple hours. And she's like, that's all night. But then she still says yes anyway. And so he's basically like, oh, did you bring your wallet with you? And he's like, oh, you full of crap. And he's like, nah, I'm about to go over there right now, and get it in. And so he basically leaves, to go to Andy. Now, in the meantime, we get to Calvin coming home, and there's a party going on. Okay, it's a party going on in here. Okay, they celebrating, all right, and they stealing all their stuff. Okay, TV is gone, microwave is gone, food is all gone. He opening up the fridge, ain't a damn thing there. Q telling him that he ate up all the food, and he is basically like, I want you out. He's over here talking about, excuse me, miss, you got to get the hell up out of here, whatever, time for you to go. He basically trying to direct all of them out, and he keeps basically telling Q he tired of him. He gonna get him out. He gonna make him put his foot in his behind. Q know he full of behind. Q knows Calvin is full of it and that he's not gonna do anything. So he's basically just laughing at him when he's like, "Where's the TV at? Where's my golf clubs at?" Q over here talking about, "Mama, I smoked the TV. Mama, I smoked the freaking golf clubs." And he's like, "Well, at least I left you one." Calvin was saying like, "Damn, that was my father's," and not only that, it's worth thousands of dollars, and you talking about you got 75 for it or whatever. Q, like Q's really gonna care about that. He keep going, "I can't believe you doing this, and I can't believe this is not bothering you, and you don't care, and you could just do this without having a thought or a care in the world." I don't know why you keep being shocked, Calvin. Like the waste of dialogue that happens every single time Calvin is coming home to him. And then he tells him he's going to call the police on him because he's like, "Well, you're out on probation and you're still wearing that ankle monitor," or whatever the case may be, "so you could go back in and you in here getting high." Q gonna talk about, "You don't know what officer to call." Doesn't matter. I ain't gotta have a particular officer. All I gotta do is call 911. And not only that, hit up Danny at this point, because that she was saying it was the officer that she spoke to that first took in Sabrina and Maurice, or whatever the case may be. Find out who he is and try to give him this information as to what Q has got going on, because that's the one that he basically told all this stuff to. I was like, Calvin, bye, get the hell up out of here. All right, now moving on from there, we have Fatima and Zach. They back at home, and he's like, "You being real quiet, you ain't talking much, what's going on?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm just thinking." And he's asking her if she believes the stuff that Karen said, and I feel like we've had this conversation before as well, but she basically was like, yeah, and then he act like he was getting an attitude about that, like, oh, so you think I'm not nothing? And she's like, no, I think you're everything. You already know that, you are everything in a daggone bag of chips at this point. But I can see how she feels. I've been where she's been at, and hopefully I will never be there again. And I don't think that, she's lying about what her experience was with you. She put a lot of investment into you, and I'm basically the one that's reaping the benefits of that now. And so he's like, oh, well, investment, that's what it's all about. Y'all just want to get money and da da da. And she's like, yeah, okay, that's a piece of it. Who doesn't want that? Anybody is going to want that. Yes, that definitely is a part of, when you're in a relationship as well. And she starts giving him examples like, look how you invested into chain breakers, and if somebody, you lost it and somebody came and just was able to take it over, or if you was at a slot machine and you kept putting in, money for hours or however long, and then the minute you get up, somebody else went off of it. That is basically the way that she felt. That was the only other analogy she knew to give him, for him to kind of be able to see the point of view that she is coming from. And he was like, okay, yeah, I get that. And so then he was asking her, like, how you knew how to break down that 10-day, 11-day, and, knowing all of that as far as pregnancy is concerned. So she's just like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm getting sleepy now, trying to change the conversation. But she basically was like, look, I ain't no damn dummy. Like, if I didn't know how to count, how many times would I been pregnant by you already? I said, wait a minute, what? And then Zach over here agreeing, like, yeah, you right about that. Of course, then they just start playing back and forth, and she's saying how she about to go to sleep. And he was like, damn well you ain't going to sleep with that makeup on, or whatever the case may be. Let's stop playing games. And so then we get, Karen and her mama chilling. And, she's saying that she want to know if this was the right thing to do. And her mama's telling her it is, okay? She's saying it's the right thing. She also saying, I know how you feel. I've been where you been at. You ain't invent this. You know what I'm saying? People have been going through this from the beginning of time. You ain't the first. You won't be the last. And that, she had to bury things and make things grow and all of this. And Karen was saying, you make it seem easy. And she's like, nah, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. But she says, one thing she will say is that, and then, Karen over here talking about don't say it. She was like, Fatima really is cool. She was like, you was right about that. And so she was like, yeah, I think I just didn't want her to be. And that was basically pissing me off. I wanted her to be a bitch. And then she was like, yeah, and about that bitch thing too. And she was like, I know, mama, you ain't got to tell me. So it's like she never want to hear, the truth when it's coming at her. That's not nothing new either, all right? Pretty much same shit, different day. And then mama was basically saying, and another thing as far as, Mr. Accountant go, a.k.a. Preacher Man, a.k.a. Aaron, I can see that he really does love you. And she was like, yeah, I know. And then, mama said, but, and then Karen was like, but what? She was like, I could definitely also see that it's some secrets he got. It's some stuff that he's hiding. There's a lot more to him. And I'm really curious to know what else he is holding out on, okay? What else is he hiding, all right? And I know a few of us have said that too. It's just been weird with Aaron. One minute he's the preacher, he's trying to live a certain life. Of course, he had the crazy situation, that happened with his wife. And then, we never seen the kids again because the kids supposedly was just her kids and her parents had took them. And then he just jumped into Karen full, speed ahead. And it's like we really never got any more of his backstory and what's going on. And there's sometimes when he definitely be given, hypocrisy. So, I guess as time goes on, we will definitely see what's going on there. And so, she basically was speaking like she's picking up on that. And Karen was like, yeah, I'll be getting that, feeling that way too sometimes. But then I'll be like, nah, maybe I'm bugging, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me and I'm reading it too much. And so her mother was even saying that this could possibly be why she still holds on to Zach also, because it's something with Aaron that she don't fully trust. I don't know how true that is, okay, but it's not impossible, maybe, honey, but just figure it out one way or another already. So, we didn't get to Danny and this weirdo guy, y'all. This scene just was annoying. It was triggering. It just was like, why did y'all have to decide to put this in here? What was the point? Like, I know that we want to shine a light on certain things that happen, but sometimes things just really be feeling like it gets thrown in there just because it's supposed to be this big explosive thing or whatever, but it's not even needed. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but child, we all of a sudden get to this guy being super weird. He's swearing he doing something. He looking like he the only one having a good time. Like he could have just been there by himself having a funky good time, and it wouldn't have made a difference whether, Danny was there or not, because she definitely did not look like she was enjoying herself. And she ends up saying that she's getting this phone call, that she could hear her phone ringing, and she goes in the bathroom, but she actually ends up being the one that's calling Andy. Okay, wasn't nobody calling her, at least that I know of. Well, I heard. And so Andy answers, and she's like, "What's going on, girl?" And she's like, "You never told me the time and stuff like that. Are you still busy?" And she was like, "Well, what happened? Because when I last spoke to you, you was over there busy, what I'm saying, and had your little friend or date or whatever going on." And she was like, "Girl, the biggest mistake and the worst mistake I ever made." She was like, "Wow, what happened?" She's like, "Yeah, it's just not going good." So she's telling her, like, call Preston. And then she like, "He's still there." And she said, "Girl, when I tell you, is like he would win the prize for the world's smallest D, okay, there's nothing there." And so Andy is like, "Oh no," and she's just basically still telling her to call Preston. And Danny is basically like, all of this from you who basically just still keep running back to Gary. And she's like, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, Gary is on his way over," or proud and happy to say that. And so she like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off the phone with you." She was like, "What exactly am I supposed to say? Why am I gonna call Preston? What am I supposed to say to him? Like, oh, don't get married or whatever." And she was like, "All I wanted to do was have a hot girl summer." I said, "Yeah, okay, Danny. Be careful what you ask for, okay?" So now when she hang up the phone with her, she go back in the room, and homeboy over here like, "Oh, come on, come on, come on," basically pulling her to him. And she's like, "Nah, I had enough. Like, we tried. It's not like we didn't try, but it just didn't work, and we're not feeling it." She was like, "It's not you, it's me." He like, "No, it is me," or whatever. "That's how y'all bitches is." Why you want to say that? Because the minute she hear him say, "That's how y'all bitches is," she's like, "Excuse me, what you said?" She was like, "You know what? I was trying to be nice. I was trying to go the different route." She like, "Danny, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, honey." And then all of a sudden, she couldn't hold it back no more, and she basically was like, "Get your behind, get your shit, okay? Get your shit and get up out of here, all right? Get the hell up out of my damn house." She was like, "You got a lot of nerve." She said, "First of all, you don't know how to screw. You're whack, okay? Your Z is nothing. I don't even see it. It can just disappear. There's nothing there. It looks like a clit." No, she said it looked like a clitoris, but I'm not even gonna say clitoris because that's a long word. I'm gonna say clit. And then he was like, "Suck it, bitch." And so that's how it just kicked off and went from there. So now in the meantime, while she's like telling him, "Get out her house, get out her house, get out her house," or whatever, once she told him, that his shit was small and all that, and bruised his damn ego, and instead of just letting him leave, okay, this was a situation, Danny, where you should have let this man leave. And not only that, and I really don't want to blame her, because nobody deserves to have anybody hit them, anybody attack them, anybody, try to sexually assault them. Like, I've been in a situation like that before. That's why I said it was a little triggering to me, and I was way younger than her. And let me tell you, honey, at Danny's big age and things she knows and things she going through, I just did not agree with her bringing him back home. From the way he was even acting in the bar, he was already showing his behind. He was showing signs. He was coming out his face. He was being a little disrespectful and weird, in my opinion, from there. And he would have still been sitting in that bar. He would have never seen the inside of my house. But in this situation, it is what it is. He was already there. He already came back with you. You already, like you said, you tried and you're not feeling it. No matter what he said at that point, just the fact that you just wanted him to get the hell up out of there, I would have let him hurry up, put his clothes and stuff on, and get out, Here she go, basically now done lost her temper. She start coming at him, "F you, get out of my house, this, that, and the third, what you said to me," and says that part to him. Next thing you know, now he done turned around and backslapped her. And it's like, is he about to try to sexually assault her too? And be like, "Oh, well, I'm taking it anyway. You can't tell me no, I'm not going to leave," because he basically was complaining about that part, saying that's how you women are. You got me all excited and aroused, and now you're going to tell me no. Yes, that is her right. She can still say no, regardless of how long it is after the freaking fact. She can still tell you to get the hell out of her house, even if she did once originally invite you in. And so that was kind of making me sick to my stomach. I hated that they added that in there, but it is what it is. That's where we are at now. Hopefully everything be okay with her, but that was that, right? And so now we get to damn Gary coming over to Andy's, and she basically is all smiling and, oh, you drunk, you horny, you know, oh, it's so funny. Now all of a sudden now you be into me. What happened? Because remember before you couldn't get it up, so what's the difference now that I could possibly, you know, turn you on and you could get hard for me now? And he was like, oh, that's because I realized that was dumb and that was silly and I needed to get over it, so I did, and I'm moving on from that. And she's like, well, I'm busy. I do got work to do. And not only that, I got to be up in the morning early, you know, and this is about my friend. This is important. So she was like, I already had told you I really can't, you know, hang and chill with you like that. So she's like, you go ahead and take a shower, get comfortable, and I'm going to be waiting for you out here. He like, all right. So he go to take a shower and she pick up his jacket. And of course, it's all just right there waiting, visible, mad obvious. Ain't even try to play it off, hide it. You could have left it in your car, left it at the office or anywhere. You really gonna come with it in your damn jacket and leave it where it's right out for her to find. And it's basically all the paperwork that's showing all the steps that, you know, he planned on taking with the Robin situation. And she was like, really, this is what this dummy got planned? Like, are you really that stupid? So now she's already ahead of it and knows what he's trying to do and knows that's what it was about with him being in the office, and that, you know, more than likely he's behind the whole situation of telling Robin, you know, whatever stuff about her, and this is basically revenge for her sleeping with him. Okay, so that was basically Sistas, y'all. That's what we got this week, you know. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let's discuss. You know how we do. Again, enjoy your turkey day. You know, have many, many blessings. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your food, okay? And like, comment, share, discuss. I mean, like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all, I'm tired as I don't know what. Okay, like, comment, share, subscribe. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.